Hi guys, welcome back to In Case of Econ Struggles. Welcome to another market structure struggle. What I would like to do is end our discussion about market structures by doing a quick example problem. So in this example problem, we're going to have two businesses. It's going to be Dana Smoothies and Samantha Smoothies. We're going to talk about how these two companies interact in the different market structures that we've talked about. So timestamps are below if you would like to jump around, but let's go ahead and get right into it. In the setup of this question, we are going to have the same sort of setup for all these different market structures. We're going to have a total cost function. It's going to be 100 plus Q squared plus Q. We're going to have a quantity demanded in the market of 1,000 minus 2Q. We're going to have this general market supply curve of 100 plus Q. So from these three equations, I can derive the marginal cost function, which is this derivative of total cost. That's 2Q plus 1. And I can derive marginal revenue, which is just going to be this demand curve, and I'm just going to multiply this coefficient by 2. So I'm going to get 1,000 minus 4Q. Or the long way to think about this is to find revenue. I'm going to multiply this by Q and then take the derivative, which is just going to be 1,000 minus 4Q. Let's start off by putting Dana and Samantha Smoothies into a competitive market, or a perfectly competitive market. So to find the equilibrium in this market, what we're going to do is we're going to set supply equal to demand. So 100 plus Q is our supply, 1,000 minus 2Q is our demand. Doing the algebra, I see that Q squared is 300 and P squared is 400. Now that is the quantity supplied and the quantity demanded, but how much do Dana and Samantha make? Well, they're both the same firm, so let's just focus on Dana. Dana is going to set the price equal to her marginal cost, so that's 400 is equal to 2Q plus 1. I'm going to do the math, and Dana is going to produce the same amount as Samantha, so that's Q Dana and Q Samantha. 3 is going to produce 199.5 smoothies, because remember, in our world, we can divide smoothies as much as we want. Profit in a perfectly competitive market is just going to be price minus marginal cost, which we know those are the same thing, so that just shows that our profit is 0. Now let's take Dana and Samantha and put them into a monopolistically competitive market, or a monopolistic competition. Got the same total cost and demand curve, same marginal cost and marginal revenue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the marginal cost equal to the marginal revenue, and I'm going to get that Q star is 999 over 6, which is 166.5. Notice that that is the Q star of a monopoly market as well. The price in this market is going to be 677, just plugging 166.5 into the demand equation. Notice that in a monopolistically competitive market, in the long run, firms can enter because barriers to entry are not impossible. So firms are going to enter, and firms are going to keep entering until this market converges to the perfectly competitive outcome. But in the short run, we are going to have some profit because the price is above the perfectly competitive price. As we've talked about before, in a monopoly market, this entry doesn't happen, so you would just be stuck at this Q star and this P star. And that's the main difference between a monopolistic competition and a monopoly market, is whether or not this market will converge to the perfectly competitive outcome or not. Hopefully this gives you another brief example of these market structures with some numbers attached to them. If this was helpful, make sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time for another case of Econ Struggles.